This is a very special
Whoa.
podcast today because we wanted to do something special for the people who listen to us. The like three
And
or four of you out there, we love you.
I think there's at least 5 or 6.
Oh,
I heard a rumor there was 7 once, but that was just a
oh
rumor.
man, that was a good day.
Unsubstantiated.
For listeners of the podcast and subscribers to the Fable Factory newsletter, you guys are gonna get a special code that no one else can have. No one. Oh, Mr. Hant's got chains. We're almost into May, and the first story from Ramel the Hell is about to see the light of day. The only thing left to do on the project is basically send it and pick it up from the printers. Everything else is done. The art is done. Essentially, the layout is done. Yes, Andy?
Essentially, yes.
The music is done, and all of the design is done. Yeah. Summarize it.
Do
What are
it.
people getting into?
The story is inspired by and set in a kind of really a variation, imaginative variation of growing up in the housing projects in Brooklyn. So it's set in this place that's an oppressive dystopian kind of landscape. That's an urban city, full of people that sort of faction off, and there's tribes and factions that kind of help each other and band together because they have to. There's an oppressive, not so much in terms of government or even police, but in terms of architecture itself. It's an oppressive place, imposing, and there's struggles, and there's like a larger story at play with that mirrors some of the common storylines and history, just uprising and that kind of thing. But this particular story is a scout. A lot of these people in the story are modeled after people I grew up around, which is really a lot of Black and Latino, namely Puerto Rican people and families. So a lot of these characters are such, and this main character is, again, I'm gonna distort a lot of it, or this will all be distorted, so it's not just based on the real world, but so they wouldn't be called as such. They're not Puerto Rican because there is no Puerto Rico in this dimension. But she's different. She's, obviously there's still issues with identity and all that, which are part of it. So she's a scout working for this tribe, and she knows the city very well. She's young, but she's very powerful in her own way. Is a loner, and she kind of knows the city very well, and she's asked to scout out a location, a route for a caravan that will be happening soon. So she's kind of like charging ahead. It's kind of like, scout or flag man, and we talked about Mardi Gras Indians in another podcast episode. So so she not a lot happens, but hopefully sets the tone for the story and the world and the tension and the things that they might face. So that's, yeah.
What else should people know as they're kind of getting into this and helping to support, our burgeoning indie project?
There's stuff out there. So when this is interesting, because when this story started in my head, like, it was even more drastic with how little was out there representative of just something different, but they inevitably, no matter how different, even if they have kind of diverse cast, they're still really within the same structure. They're set in Victorian England, so characters have British accents and English accents, and for lack of a better word, it's still within a white context.
You know, we're just in the at the beginning of this whole Ramel thing. So if you want to hear the story develop as it's created, almost, keep listening to the podcasts, because I know there's going to be lots more information as we do more stories and develop more music and see what other types of media we can bring into this thing. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you. And we love you guys. So
Bye. We love you.
Bye-bye.